Hi guys! So today is my 20th birthday and I wanted to make a little video to kind of inaugurate, I guess, my 20 years of being on this earth and share with you guys some of the tips and wisdom that I've learned throughout the years, because I know that growing up as a teenager can be challenging, and there's a lot of things that I wish I could go back and tell myself as I was younger and give myself this knowledge. So since I don't really have a time machine and I can't really do that, I'm gonna try and do that to you. Hopefully a potentially new viewer who is younger and might need someone to just share a little bit of wisdom. Some of these things you might have heard already. I know I did, and I didn't really believe them until I kind of got to an age where I was like, okay, people were right telling me, giving me this advice. So, without further ado, here we go. 20 things I've learned in my 20 years of living. And these things are not in any particular order. It doesn't go from like least, what I think is least important, to more important. It's just a list of 20 things, just in random order. So don't expect me to like have organized them. Back to the video. Number 1, putting yourself first does not make you selfish. And by that, I just really mean that you should take care of yourself first. So put your priorities first. If you are offering to help someone out, make sure you have what you need done first. Do not leave yourself second, because I know I did that throughout my teen years, at the beginning especially, and it was horrible. So I would basically take care of everyone else's needs versus my own, because I thought it'd be selfish if I did. In reality, no, I just put myself under a lot more stress than I needed. So you always come first. If you don't take care of yourself, you are not able to take care of anybody else. And in some cases, nobody else might take care of you. So you always come first. Number 2, do what makes you happy. Don't care about what everyone else around you, what your friends think. Don't do something because they want to do it. Don't do something because your parents want you to do it. Except if it's something like do your chores, then do your chores. But if it's something like following your dreams versus what everyone else wants you to do, don't do that. I'm going against everyone who's telling me not to pursue the major that I am. But I really enjoy my major, and I'm not going to change it just because people want me to. I want to be happy. I want to do what makes me happy. So I'm going to go for it. Another lesson that is intertwined, I guess, with this is be yourself. If what makes you happy is collecting vintage Polly Pockets, then go ahead and do that. If you really like makeup, go ahead and do that. If you really like collecting plushies and you have probably way too many and you're 20, go ahead and do that, because that's me right now. Except when I'm filming this, I'm still 19, so saying I'm 20 feels really weird. I still have one more day. But basically, just do what you like. Don't let anyone else tell you to not like it, just because it would be uncool or something. Just do what you want to do. Be happy and be safe. Number 3, do not let anybody else's opinion of you change you. By that, I just mean don't let other people dictate who you should be. I know in your teenage years, you're very much Play-Doh, you're very shapeable, and as you kind of grow up, you're more like modern clay, which it gets a little bit harder to mold. So I would definitely say don't just change for the people around you. Especially in high school, peer pressure was a big thing for me, and it was very easy to get caught up and want to change myself so I could fit in and do this and do that and be like cool. But I didn't, and that is one of the best things I could have done. Don't let just going with the flow or just wanting to be part of a group change you, because I assure you, you are unique and you are a wonderful person and you do not need to change for anybody. If somebody doesn't like you and they want you to change for them to like you, then do not hang out with that person. People will be your friends because they like you for who you are. And that is definitely one of the things I really learned in my teen years. And I'm really glad I did. Number 4, put the screen down. And by that I mean, live more in the moment. So I grew up in the time where it was only like TVs and like some video game consoles, but not like predominantly. And as I kind of grew, I grew up with the technology growth, which is like all these cell phones, all this like amazing VR technology. I'm growing up with it, and I feel extremely lucky to do that because I did have a screen, mostly a screen-free childhood, where I would only play video games for a certain amount of time a day or a week, and I wouldn't watch that much TV, so I was really outside enjoying myself and playing in parks and stuff, versus now I see kids just on screens. But I want to say at the beginning of my teen years, I was very into social media and very into just being online all the time, and I definitely want to say it led me to stay inside more. But actually, one particular app helped me get back outside, which was Pokemon Go. That one really got me outside more. I was already getting pretty good at putting my phone down and just living in the moment, so not posting everything online. You don't need a picture of every single moment. You don't need to snap you getting a donut at 3 in the morning. Like, you don't need that. It might be fun and you might want to do it, but remember to live in the moment. Sometimes it's best to not take out your phone and ruin a moment with it. Number 5, you will lose friends, but you will gain better ones. By that, I just mean you are going to lose friends throughout the years, whether it be because they move, you move, high school, just getting crazy, or especially going off to college, you're going to lose friends. But don't worry, you will make better friends. I assure you. You will lose friends and you will feel like it's the end of the world. But in a weird way, you're going to end up finding friends that you might like even better and you might get along better. You just have to wait and see what life has for you. Number 6, friendships are like any other relationship where the two people have to put in the equal amount of work for it to work out right. And I think I learned this the hard way, to where you will have these friends that you're putting in all the work, yet they don't want to put in any of the work, but they still want the friendship to work. And just like any other relationship, that's not gonna work out that well. So if you have a toxic friendship, definitely do not hang on to it. Let go as soon as you figure it out, because those people are just going to drag you down. Number 7, family does not necessarily have to be blood related. They just have to be individuals who are there when you need them. So whether it be your best friend that you've known for a very long time, or even a newer friend, I think that family does not necessarily have to be like blood related. It's really just who can be there for you when you need someone to talk to or when you need someone. Sometimes a friend can be there for you and understand you better than someone in your own family. And that is perfectly alright. I don't think that family should be this label reserved only for those blood related. It could just be someone you've been very close to your whole life. Like, I have a sister who is not technically blood related, but we've been best friends for now going on 15 years. We met in kindergarten, and she is definitely my sister. She is a part of the family, no doubt in my mind. So I don't necessarily think that you should be scared to like call your best friend your sister, especially if you're very comfortable with them. Especially like if you're an only child, that's basically your sibling in a sense. I know it depends on like what you believe and everything, but I'm just putting it out there that family does not need to be blood related. 8. That's 9. That's 9. I can count, don't worry. 8. Your past is in the past and there is no way to change it. So the faster you let go, the easier and faster you can move on. Holding on to grudges or the past can be so easy. but letting go feels so much better. Don't dwell on the past, just move forward. You won't regret it. Number 9. Everyone's life journey is different. Do not compare yours to somebody else's. So I know a lot of people like to compare their life to somebody else's and say, that person's life is so much better than mine. But don't say that. Everyone has a different course in life. Everybody wants something different, and you will find your place, and your life will be unique. You will do what you want in your life if you pursue it. So don't compare yourself to somebody else, because everybody wants something different. They are different. Everybody is unique. So you will find your place in life, and you will love your own life. You will not have to be jealous of somebody else's life. Number 10. Time heals all wounds. That one is simply just time heals all wounds. You'll figure it out. I think that as I've grown up, I've definitely figured it out. And I think you will too. I'm not going to go into further details. Number 11. Failing is not the same as giving up. Failing is giving up. So if you quote unquote fail at something, just get up and try again. Whether it be you failed a class, or you failed at an art project, or you hate how something turned out, don't just give up because you think it's a failure. Because chances are you learned a lot throughout that quote unquote failure that's going to help you succeed next time. So just get up and try it again. Number 12. Nothing blossoms year-round, so don't expect yourself to do the same. Meaning, don't expect yourself to be perfect every single day of the year. We all have our ups and downs, and there are going to be days that are going to be better than others, and you will find your way around it. I know I have tough days. I know a lot of friends who have tough days, but we all have our ups and downs, and you're going to figure it out. And this one horrible day might turn into like the best day of your life the next day. So don't pressure yourself into trying to be this perfect person all the time. We all have our ups and downs. Number 13. Honesty is the best policy. Simply, in very short terms, don't lie. It's just gonna be way too much trouble, and it's gonna spiral out of control. So just don't do it. It's a lot easier to just be honest, and a lot of people will regard you much higher if they find that you're honest with them versus if they find out you're lying to them. And just avoid yourself the trouble. Just be honest all the time. It's definitely a lot easier than to try and make up lies or excuses all the time. And yeah, that's it. Number 14. The important things of today might be small and tiny and insignificant in the future. So just because that one essay seems so daunting and huge right now, doesn't necessarily mean that you'll look back in 3-4 years and regard it as that same huge important thing. So don't pressure yourself too hard. Sometimes I know it feels like this one assignment is huge and it's gonna be a life changer, but chances are it's not. So don't push yourself way too hard. Don't pull those all-nighters trying to study for that one final, because that's gonna do you more harm than good. Just try to time manage everything and you'll be fine. Don't feel like failing that one quiz in your math class in, let's say, 12th grade is gonna matter in 5-10 years to you. It will not be that much of a big deal. Number 15. Every day will teach you something new. Whether that be in class or outside of class, you will learn something new every day. So don't worry about stopping and not learning something after you stop going to school or after you graduate from high school. You will learn something new every day. I promise you. Number 16. We will all be kids at heart. No matter your age, you will still be a kid. Just gonna leave it at that. I think you'll understand. Number 17. Don't let others dictate what you like. This one kind of goes along with one that I said earlier, but what I'm trying to basically say is just because someone doesn't like something doesn't mean that you should change your opinion or change who you are just to fit in with that person. Go ahead and like what you like. That person probably likes something that you don't particularly like. We all have our own opinions, so it makes sense. So don't just let other people dictate what you should like, what you should not like, especially in middle school, I've noticed, and high school, since I have nieces and nephews that age. I know it can be difficult at times, but don't just try to fit in with everyone and say you hate something even though secretly you love it. Just be yourself. If they don't accept you for who you are, they're probably not the type of people you want to be hanging around with. Number 18. You don't need people who talk behind your back in your life because they are behind you for a reason. Simply, I'm just trying to say, if you know someone who quote unquote is your friend, but all the time other people tell you they talk behind your back, that's really not the type of person you want in your life. Those type of people can be very toxic, and I would definitely recommend, if you know someone like that, just cut them off. It'll be so much easier. Because you're going to put yourself in a place where you are standing above all this negativity and you're avoiding it. Because you don't want someone who's toxic and very negative in your life. It's just not going to be a fun time. So I would say, if you know somebody who's talking behind your back and pretending to be your friend all the time, yet when you turn around, they're saying like bad things, just don't deal with it. Cut it off right there. Number 19. Is it 19? It is. Number 19. Intelligence comes in all shapes and forms and should not only be defined by letter grades. Simply put, all I mean is just because you might not get straight A's in school does not mean you are not intelligent in your own way. Someone who might be school smart might not be street smart. Someone who might be traditionally like a mechanic or something might not necessarily be a good gardener. Everybody has their own thing that they are good at and they thrive in. So just because school, and of course my camera had to cut out right as I was giving that example, but where was I? So I said mechanics and like gardeners. You might be good at video games and you might be very good at cooking. Everyone just has their own thing that they're good at. So just because you're not necessarily book smart does not mean you're not smart. And finally, number 20. Be nice and courteous. It's a very simple thing that you will learn, but I think if everyone was nicer to each other, smiled more, and were more polite to each other, we would have a much nicer society. Evident by a little baby that I met at Costco. That was the most adorable baby who the whole time was just smiling and laughing. It was adorable. And it really inspired me to put it on this list. I wasn't going to say it, but it is such a simple thing that I think I definitely learned in my teen years, because I want to say when I was younger, I was always nice. I was never mean to like any staff ever, but I definitely learned it in my teen years to always say thank you to someone who, whether it be your bus driver or someone at a restaurant, especially at a restaurant or a store. But always make sure to, be courteous, because these people deal with a lot of people who might not necessarily be the nicest. So let's all just be nice to everyone. I definitely think it's a good note to end on. Just share positivity. Don't allow that negativity in your life. It will definitely make your life a lot better. So that was my list. I hope you enjoyed it. And if throughout the video you kind of liked my makeup and it reminded you of a certain Disney princess, it is because I made a makeup tutorial on an Elsa. So my camera just cut out and the battery died. So I'm just quickly going to say this. but I did a makeup tutorial on an Elsa look, which I will link down below, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.